Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, where we're going to be doing a bit of a guide to get you gold on all of the international A license tests. So we will be doing a complete guide from 1 all the way through to 10, making sure we get you that gold medal. And then at the end of the video, we will also check out the cars that we receive for receiving all bronze and all gold. But without further ado, now let's get into the first license test here. Gonna be at Suzuka in the Aston Martin. It's coming into the braking zone here. We're gonna be braking at the 100-meter board, hard on the brakes all the way down, slowly turning into the apex as we release the brake pedal. Down to third for the second part of the corner, up to fourth on the exit, and we're going to power out all the way to the exit. Try to keep it nice and tight into the apexes and you should be good. That's going to give us a 17.6. So moving on now to number 2. We're going to be in the Diablo GT, the Lamborghini. And we're going to be at Tokyo Expressway, the south clockwise version. So a street track for you in this one. Coming up to the top of the hill, we're going to be braking pretty much at the top of the hill, all the way down to second gear for the extra rotation, all the way onto the apex, trail braking as we come in here, and then it's all about feathering the throttle, making sure we don't get enough speed to go into the wall, and releasing the throttle to get that extra rotation through these corners. So that would give you a time of 25.2. Definitely do a lot better on that one, but we're going to stick with it for now. Maybe I'll come back and improve at some point. But moving on to number 3, we're going to be at Fisherman's Ranch and we're going to be in the Focus Group B. So I'm not going to slow this one down for you as it is a rally car, and yeah, let's just say rallying is not my favourite thing to do on Gran Turismo 7. I don't believe the physics really lend itself to rallying. So we're going to just sit back and watch the entirety of this one. Making sure we get it down to second for the extra rotation, get it sideways and then early on the power. Really to maximise the turning of these rally cars. And across the jump to finish off. That's going to give us a time of 34.1. So just about managed to scrape through in that one. But again, if you want to slow down the video and pause it to see exactly where I'm turning or braking, feel free to do so. But we are going to move on to number 4 in the Testarossa at Lago Maggiore. So a really nice track, I really like this layout. Coming into the braking zone at the turn 1, we're going to brake just as that sign goes above our car there. All the way down to second, as you can see the Ghost overshooting it there. We're going to keep it in tight to that apex as much as we can. And again, coming up to turn 2, we're going to brake as soon as we're in a straight line. Down to first, but up to second for the extra traction on the exit. Now coming through here, you're just going to want to lift nice and early, get it tight into that apex. You don't want to run too wide here. Now just as that orange barrier leaves your screen, that is going to be your brake marker. You're going to be hard on the brakes all the way down to second. Try and keep it tight into that apex. Of course this car does not have a lot of grip, so it's going to be difficult. Probably braking a little bit earlier would help quite a lot. So that's going to give us a 33.8, and now we're going to move on to number 5. We're going to be at Le Mans in the Nissan here. Group 1 machinery, so we're going to be very fast coming through the Porsche curves here. We're going to slow it down for you now. We're going to want to lift off very early here, get it turned in all the way down to third momentarily before back up to fourth for the exit under power. Coming through here, we're just going to want to lift off where we feel like we're carrying a little bit too much speed. But this car does have a lot of downforce, so you can be incredibly brave. Coming through into the next corner here, we're going to brake as soon as the car's in a straight line. Down to third, get it flicked in, early on the power, and that should be a good enough time for gold. We'll come home with a 28.1. So moving on now to number 6, we're going to be at Laguna Seca in the Dodge Viper, the road version, the GTS. So this is going to be the infamous difficult corkscrew corner. Coming in here, we're going to brake just at the line here, making sure we get it stopped nice and early, down to first, tight in on that first apex, and then straight line and on the power as soon as you can. Just feathering the throttle so you don't get too much oversteer. Again, lifting off for this next corner. Running out wide, and that's going to give you a time of 19.9. So a lot of time gained on that particular course. Now moving on to number 7, we're going to be at Kahuba in the A110, the Alpine. And we're going to be in wet conditions for this one. So again, I'm not going to slow it down because it is pretty slow in the wet conditions. Now I found with this one that as long as you're taking it very slow, very easy, as you can see they're very careful on the throttle. Only full throttle when you are in a straight line, and you should be able to get a pretty decent time. Coming into the hairpin here, down to second, we're braking nice and early. Just let the car rotate and roll in. Then again, easy on the throttle on the exit. We get a little bit of oversteer there, and that is still going to give us a time of 29.5. So definitely a lot of time to gain on that one. But moving on now to number 8, and we're going to be back at Lago Maggiore, but this time it is the East End reverse. And we're going to be in the Toyota GR Supra. So coming into the braking zone, or coming around the corner, the first corner, into the braking zone, we're going to lift off on this first little crest of the hill here, and then as soon as we're in a straight line, we're going to brake hard, get it turned in, try and hit the apex as much as we can, down to second there but up to third on the exit to try and minimize wheel spin. Now coming through here, we're going to downshift again to get that extra rotation. I probably should have stayed in the higher gear as we get some oversteer and then crash into the wall, but that is going to give us a time of 23.3. so again, just scraping through with these ones, but that's all we need to do as long as we get that gold medal. Now I'm going to move to number 9 at Deep Forest Raceway. I'm going to be in the Renault Megane Trophy. Now this car has a lot of downforce, even for a Group 4 car, so the handling on this car is very good. Just a little lift on that first corner, coming into the braking zone. As soon as you're in a straight line, braking and making sure we hit that apex again in a straight line, and braking and hitting that apex, really cutting the corner quite a lot there, as much as you can. Just as we come out of the tunnel is when we're going to brake next, down to second, up to third on the exit, easy on the power. And as soon as you see the bridge, you can accelerate. Coming into the next braking zone here, just as we hit the apex, we're going to be braking, get it down to third for the extra rotation, up to fourth on the exit, and then as soon as we're onto the bridge is our next braking point. Again, down to second for this one, third on the exit. Make sure you don't go too wide, as you will get a time penalty. So that's going to give you a 38.9, but now is the time that we've all been waiting for. Onto the final exam, the A10 exam. We're going to be in the Road Mercedes AMG, and we're going to be at Green Hill. Yes, we're going to be at Nordschleife, Nürburgring, whatever you want to call it. Coming into the first braking zone here, I don't really have any markers, so we're just braking very early here, making sure we hit the apex. Making sure we hit the apex on the following corner, and again coming into here, we're going to go incredibly wide here. But again, this is not about maximizing the course, maximizing the car. This is about getting through as cleanly as possible so that we can pick up that gold medal for you guys. We do have a 57.9 to beat, so we're going to hopefully get somewhere around that one. Coming through here, just making sure we keep it nice and clean and tidy, making sure we hit our apexes, get our gears down to the appropriate level. As you can see, very twitchy on the exit of these corners. Up to third for the final push towards the finishing line, and that's going to give us a time of 57.3. So of course, if you do want to absolutely learn where I was braking and turning in, do feel free to pause the video or go back and watch specific parts. That is going to give us our International A license. We're also going to get 12,000 for completing that one. And now moving on to the cars. So for getting all bronze, we are going to get the Toyota 86 Group B rally car. Very nice addition indeed. And for getting all gold, we're going to get the Alpine A110, which we also drove in one of the tests. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.